Time for day 2 in our Kansas Audition Music Challenge. So today, before we get started, first of all, I want to say good job. You've made it to day 2. Second of all, I want to talk about how we set up our practice space. One thing that I think is really important is that we're really comfortable when we're practicing. So I want you to make sure that your practice space is private. You can close the door and nobody's going to bug you. Make sure that the people in your house understand that you can't take phone calls. They can't knock on the door and bother you. They need to let you just be alone. They also can't make comments on your practicing later. I've had students come in and complain about their mom saying they didn't sound that good and things like that. And really, the fact that you're in there practicing is enough. And I'm the only one that can comment on whether or not your practicing is working as the teacher. So some things that I like to do for my practice space to make it cozy and nice. I like beautiful lights. Sometimes I'll light a candle. I like to practice right by the window because it's really important for me to be able to look outside when I practice. I just like the outdoors, and usually I'd rather be outside than inside. So when I'm stuck inside practicing, I'm right by the window. Let's see, other things. Oh, I love to get up and take lots of breaks. So I'll drink lots of water and then get up and take breaks to get more water, take bathroom breaks, and then start practicing again. And it's usually great because just that little bit of time that it takes me to get up, go to the kitchen and get a glass of water, and then come back, my brain has kind of cleaned itself out and I'm ready to start again. All right, the other thing we have to talk about once again is this ritual and routine of practicing. So part of my routine is that I make sure that when I'm practicing, it's the first thing to get done in the day, because I know if I don't do it in the morning, I won't get it done at all. You might not be able to do it in the morning, so make sure that you do it at a certain point every day. Sometimes kids like to do it right after school or come home from school and have a snack and then practice and then do everything else they have to do. You have to pick it for you and pick out what's right for you. Make sure that your practice time is something that you do for yourself, something that you'll end up enjoying and taking care of yourself, because really what we want ultimately is for you to feel great about how you play and for you to have music to help you express everything that you need to express in life. Okay, so now we're all ready. Let's get started on day 2. Here we are with our chromatic scale. I'm turning our metronome on at quarter note equals 65. Today we're going to start with half notes and then we're going to do it again, just the first octave. As we come down, we're going to tongue each note. So we're beginning to do what the requirements are for the auditions. Okay, so here we go. Half notes on the chromatic scale. Deep breath in. Our first notes should just be calm and relaxed and kind of allowing us to stretch our lungs out and breathe. So deep breath, ready, go. Excellent. Okay, our other goal for today was to make sure that we were memorizing this chromatic scale. So let's try it one more time, half notes, but I don't want you to look at the music this time. Okay, so we're starting on our low C, and I want you to look up from the page and see if you can do it without looking. Half notes. Deep breath in, ready, go. Now let's tackle the second octave. So we're going to start on this C and just go up half notes. Okay, here we go. Deep breath in, shoulders back and down. 1, 2, ready, go. Now you can tell on this music we're going to start here and go down. Let's tongue every note. Ready, go. Okay, great job. Now, we're going to try to make it a little bit harder. We're going to try 2 octaves. Let me go ahead and write our slur up here. We're going to slur up 2 octaves, and we're going to tongue down 2 octaves. And now we're going to try it at quarter notes equals 65. Okay. Okay. Sorry, you can tell I'm stopping and starting. We were baking cookies and now they're done. So I'm ready to play my chromatic scale 2 octaves, slurring up, tonguing down, and quarter note equals 65. So I'm going to take a deep breath, open my jaw, open my lungs, have my shoulders come back and down. 1, 2, ready, go. Excellent. I think I'll mark this here so as we come down our eyes will go to it. Okay, let's do it one more time to practice it because tomorrow we're going to start right on it at quarter notes. Okay, here we go. Deep breath, ready, go. Excellent job. So tomorrow we'll start same tempo, but we're going to play 2 octaves from memory, and we're going to speed it up as we go. Okay, let's go on to the major scale. I'm going to keep the camera on so we can move right into it. So today we're going a little bit faster. We're going to put the half note that we're playing is going to be at 75 for F major scale. Okay. So starting on half notes, let's just go right into it. F major. Ready, go. Okay, now I'm going to change our metronome to 60, but we're going to play quarter notes on this. Okay, we're going to do it 2 more times. One time you're going to look up the music. The second time you're going to play from memory. Okay, so take a deep breath. Think about what notes you're playing as we go up. Ready? Go. Excellent. One more time. Don't look at the music. Ready? Go. Excellent work. Okay, so now we're going to G major. I'm going to readjust the music. So to get ready for tomorrow's major scale, we're going to be adding B flat major tomorrow. So today I wanted to work on some of the higher notes that make B flat major a little bit more challenging. So I'm showing you my practice notebook. As you can see, the pages are wrinkly and it's a little chaotic, but in my mind, it's all neat and tidy because I was able to write some things out in my plan of attack, which I recommend you do too. Every time you practice, write what you did and what you're going to do tomorrow. That way, when you start practicing the next day, you know right where you need to start. So for a moment, take a look at what I did. I wrote in the fingerings for the high notes in the scale. Everything else is just like the low notes, but here we have high D. I want you to play high D with me. You might know this fingering pretty well. See if you can play the D without any tightness in your mouth and your chest. See if you can play it effortlessly. Try it. Ready? Go. Good. Now let's try a high E flat, the next note down. So every single finger is down on our flute. Take a deep breath and stand tall. Here we go. Ready? Go. Okay, now here is F major. If you don't know it already, this middle finger is up in your left hand. Let's try that. Deep breath. Okay, now we have high G. It's hard to read, but your thumb is going to be off on the G. Let's try that. High G. Ready? Go. Excellent. Don't be afraid to let your sound be really full and strong. Here we have high A fingering. So we have our middle, thumb, first, and pinky. Okay, let's try it. Ready? Go. And then we have finally our high B flat. All right, let's give it a try. We're using our trill key on this one, if you can tell by my notes. Okay, high B flat, ready, go. Excellent. Now we're going to play from here all the way up to the high B flat. Nice and slow. We're going to turn on the metronome again. Let's just do half notes so you have time to think about where you're going next. Okay, think about the next note when you're playing. Ready? Go. Good. Try it one more time to give yourself another chance. Ready? Go. Excellent. Let's try one other way. We're going to start on the B flat and make our way down to the D. Okay. Here we go. Deep breath. Really stand tall for B flat. Ready? Go. already doing the high notes. Good for you. Okay, now let's move on to the G major scale. Okay, so we are ready to start our G major scale. We're going to do half notes at 75. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Excellent. Okay, just like the F major, we are now going to try it in quarter notes 2 times. So the first time you can look at the music, the second time you're going to play it from memory. So let me set my metronome at 60. We're going to take a deep breath. Always kind of shake out your body right before you start so that you're not tense and you're nice and tall. Okay, here we go in quarter notes. Ready? Go. Excellent. One more time. Now this time don't look at that music. Just try to fill up the room that you're playing in with lots of really good, big, full flute sounds. All right, playing from memory. Take a deep breath. Ready? Go. Good job. As we take a look at the Bach today, I wanted to talk about the trills and the grace notes. So there's a lot of confusing stuff out there when we talk about Baroque ornamentation. Ornamentation are the things like the trills and the grace notes, things that are a little bit extra. I always think of them like sprinkles on a cupcake. You don't really need them, but they make everything so much better. So I wanted to see if one of my students searched on the web and said, how do I play grace notes in the Baroque music? What they could find. And I found some great stuff already, and it was quoting one of my favorite teachers, Michel Debost, who is a fabulous flute teacher and wonderful person. And this is actually from a site or a blog called Flute Punch. And she directly quoted Michel Debost from his wonderful book about flute playing. It says number 1. I'm just going to read it out loud to you so you can see what Michel Debost has to say. A Baroque tradition that carried over to the classical era is to play a grace note before a trill, starting on the upper note except when a chromatic progression is involved or the upper note immediately presents itself before the trill. Well, I want to show you, if we take a look at the Polonaise, they've actually already done this. If you were listening to some of the recordings, you can hear that some people treat this grace note like a note that comes right before the trill. And actually, when they played this note, what they were saying, a progression, meaning these notes are coming down one note right after the other. So ordinarily, a lot of people, if you follow that rule, then you wouldn't play the trill starting on the note from above because you've already got the note from above here. But in our wonderful recording with the great Baroque instrumentalists, they actually play a really quick trill. If I start on the C here and get to the trill, you'll hear it. It's really fun. They do a quick little trill. So we're going to play it like that recording today, and we're going to then investigate other recordings, and then I want you to kind of see what you like to do. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what these trills look like. When we're playing the Polonaise, one of the trills that we get to play a lot is F sharp to G. Try playing it from the note above, the G to the F sharp. Another one we play in the Polonaise is the B to C sharp. If you play the lower octave, it sounds like this. If you play the higher octave, you can also play around with the trill keys. On my flute, I feel that this first trill key is really the best. It's the most in tune if I want to do a trill key. But I actually like the sound of this best, so I try using this more than the trill key for that note. Okay, let's try it. So today on day 2, as we play the Polonaise, we're still going to subdivide, thinking of the 8th notes. So I'm going to turn on my metronome. Our 8th note is still going to equal 70. Let's play through the whole Polonaise and see how we do. Let's see if we can take the repeats, and that way we'll get to play everything twice. Okay, now we're adding the trills and the grace notes, so see what you can do with those. Ready? Go. Good. We're going to go on for today, although it's hard for me to not stay and try to work a little bit more on some of these things. If you have any trouble with anything, you might want to mark with your pencil, put a little star above a part that's hard, and tomorrow, before you even start on the Polonaise, try playing some of those hard spots with your metronome on and figure out what's making it difficult for you, and take some notes. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start working on the double. Now the double has its own challenges, part of the challenge is just really understanding what the rhythm is doing. So we're going to, once again, whoa, where's my pencil? We're going to mark in where the eighth notes go because we're subdividing. So we're going to think about the eighth note getting the beat. So now we have 30-second notes, which is awesome. When you think of the 30-second notes, they're going to sound like 16th notes. There's going to be 4 in one beat when we think of eighth notes getting the beat. I've marked these 30-second notes because they're a challenge for some students just because there's a lot of notes in this group. There's 8 notes, but I've divided them into groups of 4. I don't really want you to tongue that middle note. Keep it all slurred, but I want you to think of it as a group of 4 and another group of 4. And then we're going to keep going with our eighth note beats. A group of 4, another group of 4. Here's a grasshopper beat, I like to call it. And here are these beats. I'm going to skip this today, although I want to play it eventually. We're going to go on and just end on the second ending, because this is all you'll need to play if you play it in the audition. Okay, so I'm going to play this once for you with the metronome on. We're going to keep the same tempo so you can hear, then we might slow it down a little bit. Okay, so it's called a double because it sounds like it's double time, twice as fast. Okay, did you see how that went? It's so fun. Okay, so now I'm going to slow it down to about 50. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, because we're going to practice the 30-second notes. So first of all, we're going to play here on the D. Don't forget we have A sharp, which is the same thing as B flat. So it's going to sound like this. So you have, if you have to mark it in, don't worry, C sharp and A sharp. Okay, so try playing just that much with me. On the D, we're going to go to the B right there. Ready, go. Try it again. Ready, go. Now we're going to go to the next group. So we have 4 30-second notes. We're just going to fit it into a beat. So we're going to start on an E and play to the next E. Sounds like this. Here I go. Now try playing it with me. Don't forget the F sharp. Ready, go. All right, now we're going to start on this E and go to the A sharp. All right, so 5 notes. Ready, go. Did you remember the C sharp? Don't forget the C sharp in there. Try again. Ready, go. All right, so if I play that grouping starting on this E and ending on the A sharp, it sounds like this. Ready, here I go. It's really just like a little scale. Try it with me. We're going to do it 2 times. Ready, go. Ready, again. All right, now if I go back to beat 1 in this measure, I'm going to play that and add what we just did. All right, I want you to help me do it 2 times. So deep breath, you can do it. Go. Good. Try it again. Ready, go. All right, now we're going to try the next grouping. So we start on the D and go to D. So it sounds like this. Here I go. So you just go down and come right back up. Try it with me. Go. And again, ready, go. Good. Now we're going to start on the D and go up to the A. Ready? Here it sounds. Little scale. Try it with me. Ready? Go. And one more time. Go. Excellent. Now start on the D. Ready? Go. Try it again. Ready? Go. Excellent. Okay, now I'm going to play for you the next few beats in this measure. We get to jump around a little bit. Typically, most editions, flutists slur that note, those two notes. Okay, here I go. On the A. And. So we have these wonderful jumps. Try it with me. On A and go. Good. Okay, now we're going to try the whole measure. I'm going to play it once and then you join me. Here we go. All right, let's go for it. You can do it. Pay attention to where I'm tonguing and where I'm slurring. Okay? Ready? Go. Excellent. Okay, so now we're going to try two measures. See how we're doing little bits and then we're making bigger bits and then adding it all together. So start on the D right here. Okay. Ready? Deep breath. Yay! Let's try that one more time, okay? You can do this. Deep breath, shoulders back and down. Kind of shake your shoulders a little bit. Ready? Go. Okay, good. Now we're going to attempt to do the first measure. I'm going to play the first measure one time. Here I go. Just that much. Try it with me. So we're jumping around a little bit here. Ready, go. Okay, now we're ready to do three measures. So we're not going to stop until we get right there on that D. Okay, ready, and. Nice when you stop on the D because it sounds like an ending. Okay, let's do it two more times and then we're done. Ready, go. Good job. Take a deep breath. Stretch a little. Okay, now put your flute up and ready, go. You made it through the double already, and it's only day 2. We've done the first part of the double, and you really know the Polonaise. It's great. Okay, so now it's time for the Badinerie. Let me go get my music. Okay, here we go at the beginning of Badinerie. Ready? Go. Let's try it one more time. Do you hear how the trills are being trilled? Okay. Take a deep breath. Here we go. And great. Okay, so that's what we're doing for the Badinerie. Let's move on to our sight reading. Here we are at our sight reading. This is going to be in 6/8. So what I want you to think of, if you're not comfortable with 6/8, remember the eighth notes that we've been doing all this practice session long. 3 eighth notes go into 1 dotted quarter. And then we have these 3 and 3 eighth notes there. This is an eighth rest, so it gets a beat. So what we're going to do is just think about where these eighth notes go and how we can play this for the first time really correctly and comfortably. So when you're sight reading something in 8, it's okay, just think of the eighth notes. So this is where all the beats are. All right, before we go any further, whoa, sorry about that camera. So before we go any further, let's take a look at what this would sound like. If I turn on the metronome, let's go a little faster. Not too crazy slow. Okay. So if this is the eighth note, okay, this is the eighth note. We're going to clap this. Okay, so we're going to start right on these pickup notes and we're going to end probably here on this beat. Okay, so ready to clap? Here we go. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's how I want you to think of those rhythms and that tempo. Now we're going to try to play it. So we're going to take just that very same tempo. Okay, we're going to start on D. I want you to notice things like Rondeau, Jean-François d'Andreu. We can see his date, so it's old music. If you don't know what rondeau means, that won't help you, but it does say moderato. So moderate, so it's not too slow, not too fast. We've got 2 sharps, F sharp, C sharp. Sometimes it's good to just finger an F sharp and then finger a D sharp so they're in your fingers. Okay, here we go. So ready, go. We did it. Okay, that was was a fairly easy one. It might have been challenging for you, but they are going to get harder as we go along. So fear not if that felt too easy. If it felt too hard, rewind this and try to play it again. Just give yourself another chance to do it. Okay, you've done great. Look below the audio or the video for more suggestions on reading and for videos you can watch and good recordings. You can look at my website, maryholzhausen.com, to follow along, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Good job.